Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's live with us here at Rochills. Afternoon, Craig.
Afternoon, Claudia. You okay?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Thank you for Friday.
How's the office?
Sorry?
How's the office?
Yeah, real buzz about it. Ready for the weekend.
Oh, I bet you are. Awesome. So thanks for joining me this afternoon. So everyone who has joined us, today's live is going to be covering tips on how to keep your properties marketing fresh. That's whether you're on the market at the moment or if you're thinking of selling this year. Just giving out some advice on that. So today, as you can see, I'm joined by our sales manager, Craig Kirk, and then our lettings consultant, Jonathan Powell, will again be joining us this week for a buy-to-let deal of the week, and this week's rental property of the week as well. So before we do get into it, just wanted to remind you, we will be letting you know about the New Year offer throughout this January. So if you're thinking of selling or buying, you'll want to stay tuned for that. We'll be reminding you of the details. And also just to let you know, if you do know anybody who is on the market at the moment or is thinking of selling this year, you can invite them to this live session right now. We've timed it prime time for lunch, so hopefully they can join us in the next 10 minutes to go through some useful tips if they are on the market at the moment or if they're thinking of selling. Tag them in the comments. Failing that, give us a like or give it a share for your network to have a look at this free advice live as well. So thank you, Craig. I'll go straight into it really. If you can sort of, I know we're really strategic here in the sales department and the lettings department about the marketing of our listings. So can you share the tips on how we keep our marketing fresh?
Yeah, so we like to look at a few things in order to keep the property or the listing fresh, as it were, on the portals and how we market here in the office. So there's a number of things that we look at in terms of stats. So we use a particular property portal, and we can look at a number of things, right from the amount of people that are viewing it on an average daily basis, and then comparing that to other properties, not just within our office, but in and around a certain postcode, and similar sort of listings in terms of the price and similar sort of size properties. So we can look at different data and things like that and see how the property is performing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in order to keep it fresh, there's obviously quite a bit of competition on the market at the moment. So we do a number of things. We can change the photos around. We tend to do that every sort of 10 to 14 days, just to freshen the property up, so people just aren't seeing the same thing all the time. You can look at the text, obviously the description. I mean, in this kind of market, you've got to make sure it stands out from the crowd. The pictures as well. As I mentioned, we change them around, but I think a big thing about taking the pictures initially, we use an architectural professional photographer that just specialises in taking pictures of properties. But again, just making it stand out from the crowd. And then also we can manage things like a premium listing, which can increase the percentage of people looking at the property. So a premium listing is when there's not just one picture showing on the listing when you're in the list of properties on your portals. So there's actually 3 or 4 pictures within the actual listing there, and it's got a banner across it as well, just to make it stand out a bit more as well. And then moving on from there, we use feature properties as well, which again can bump up the percentage of people looking at it. And also with the feature property, it puts it right at the top of the listing as well. So people are looking at it, it comes up right at the top of all the other properties. So it really, really does stand out.
More eyes on the property, essentially. So how often would you let people know that your agent should be regrouping with you as the client to sort of look at these figures and look at changing or making any changes to the strategy of the marketing of their property?
So we try and we talk to our vendors on a regular basis, because it's all about having that relationship with them. At the end of the day, we want to sell the property. We want to work with the vendor along the journey to agree the sale. So we'll look at these stats pretty much on a daily basis within the office. But we tend to discuss them with the vendor every sort of 10 to 14 days, and then we can freshen up the listing and see where we can go with it, really, just to keep it fresh again, and like I say, keep it going and get more people through the door in order to get the sale.
That's it. Yeah, I remember when I was an agent as well with yourselves, is every Friday I remember we'd sort of sit down, well, on the phone or in front of the client as well, just sort of talk through, here's what the stats like, here's what the viewing numbers are saying, and here's what the hit rate's like. We used to cover everything with the client so that they know we're keeping an eye on it. We need to keep an ear on it to figure out what we need to do going forward to keep the hit rates up, to keep the viewing numbers high, and to get obviously as many offers as possible throughout the marketing of their property as well. So yeah, thank you for that. I'm going to check. So please do feel free, everyone, to any questions on what Craig's just mentioned there. Just drop them in the comment section below. We will be keeping an eye out for that.
I think it's important to mention, Claudia. It's not about just giving the owners just the feedback from viewings.
No, yeah.
It's important to have that dialogue open and say, look, I am changing this, I am changing that. Just to keep the relationship with our vendors in order to just keep it going.
Yeah.
And like I say, you need more people through the door in order to get that sale. So you've got to be discussing like, oh, this is your average hit rate. This is what properties around you are doing. There's one just sold around the corner. It was this, it was that. Yours compares to it like that, and just have that discussion, like a sort of a review, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe once every month we'll actually physically go down and meet with the vendor. So it's not just over the phone, it's not just a voice on the phone. We like to book in a time. Even when we take the property on, we will book in a time and we will go down and see the vendor in order to go through it. So it's quite visual.
For sure.
And like I say, just to move the progression forward, really.
Yeah, I think what's also important to reiterate why we do this is it's all relative. The more eyeballs you have on the property, obviously by keeping your marketing fresh, the more viewings you get, the more people through the door, the more offers, the more interest, and ultimately leading to achieving the best possible price with having, all that level of interest. Really, it's all relative, starting from the marketing of the property. So yeah, thank you for that, Craig, who've got joined us. I can't see your name at the moment, but hello. So moving on from that, is Johnny around? Before I let you go, Craig, actually, can I just find out what this week's property of the week is?
Yes, property of the week. So we have property in Regency Gardens. So this is a 4-bedroom detached house. Just put it on the market this week. So it's a really, really good sized property. Great garden on the back of it. Nice conservatory. Regency Gardens, I don't know if you know it, Claudia, but it's a great little spot.
I know.
Miles away from the town centre. We've got quite a few people viewing this tomorrow. It's on the market at 650. So good family road, popular area. So yeah, give us a call on the number 01932 221 739. That's my direct number. We've got a few slots left for tomorrow. So yeah, give us a call.
I was going to ask you if you've got any slots left for tomorrow, and that's a detached as well, isn't it?
Detached, yeah. Cracking house.
Yeah. No, that area is still that suburb, Regency Garden, is still very popular. I remember when I was obviously an agent as well, very desirable. People saying, I want to be in the Regency Gardens area, purely because I know you've got very good primary schools, and commuter families as well. Hersham Station isn't a million miles away either. So it's great. Thank you so much, Craig, and thank you for the tips as well.
I'll hand over to Johnny.
That's fine, no problem. Got a question here. What do you do if a property doesn't get much interest after a few weeks? I could have just left Craig, but that's fine. We'll go back to that and we'll answer the question at the end of the live. Thank you for that. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Claudia.
You're right.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Good. Thanks again for joining us this morning. So we'll start whichever you've got ready first. Either the buy. So essentially, you've got Johnny on because if you're thinking of becoming a landlord for the first time, or you are an existing landlord looking for another investment property, I thought I'd bring Johnny in just to share the buy-to-let deal of the week.
Yep. So I've chosen this property because it's actually one of our landlords who are selling it. The current tenants have been in here for around 9 years.
Wow.
There must be a reason they've stayed so long. It's a lovely flat. It's only 1 bedroom, but it's very spacious.
Okay.
And in a great location as well on Carlton Road.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yes, I know that development. The top of the road, isn't it? As you come in from.
Yeah, that's it. Just as you come in, so
Yeah.
it's quite central to it's close to the town, but it's
Yeah.
still quite residential and quiet.
Yes, it is, and not too bad from the station either, Hersham or Walton.
Exactly, and you've got parking as well, which is always attractive to tenants.
Definitely. And Johnny's right. It's a very spacious one-bed apartment. It does feel quite homey as well because it's technically, I think it's counted as a maisonette. It's got its private entrance, right?
Yeah, it's got its own entrance. There's not a shared entrance there.
Yeah, that's right. So if you are interested in having a look at this property, please do give Johnny a call. Johnny, what's your direct number?
01932 222 293.
Fab, thank you so much. So definitely, have you got any slots for anybody who might want to book that for tomorrow?
Yeah, we still got availability for tomorrow. I mean, if you are a potential landlord and you're considering what kind of yield you're going to get back from this, I reckon you'd easily get around 850 to 900 a month.
Okay.
In rent, which would give you around 4.4 to 4.7% gross yield.
That's very good. So just to cover that, if you aren't a landlord already in the area, anything above 4% in the area is very good. It's considered a really good yield. So thanks for sharing that, Johnny. So if you want to have a look at that as an investment purchase, please do give Johnny a call. I'll put his direct dial below as well. And what's the rental property of the week for any tenants?
Rental property of the week is one we've recently put on. We put this on Wednesday. It's a 3-bedroom house on Willowhane Drive.
Okay, yeah, close to the town centre.
Yeah, very, very close to the town centre, but a nice little residential road as well. I've got some pictures here. I don't know if you can see those.
I'll ask you if you have details, yeah. Oh, yes, very big houses, those, yeah.
And it's actually been extended by the landlord as well. So what was the kitchen is now a nice little dining area.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's such a spacious property.
When's it available?
Pretty much straight away. Couple of little bits and bobs to do, which our property manager is dealing with at the moment, and it needs to be cleaned. But pretty much straight away on that one.
Fab. Thank you so much for that, Johnny.
That one's on at $14.50 a month.
That would help. Yeah, the price $14.50 per month.
$14.50, yeah, which is a great price. It also comes with a garage as well, so if you need storage. Immaculate. Literally, the flooring hasn't long gone down. The landlord who used to live there has looked after it really, really well, and it's absolutely immaculate.
Fab. So this is a family home over in Willowhane Drive. Comes with garden. Yeah, right. Oh, I'm here. Have you lost me? Have you got me there? Oh, okay. I think we've lost each other there, Johnny. Let me move. I think I might have lost Johnny due to the connection there. Let me see if you can see me. So I'll sign off just in case you can see me at the moment. Thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, can you see me now?
I can see you. I'll yeah.
It's fine. I'll sit down again. I don't know if it's my connection or if it's me. I'm not sure. Your side. But yeah, thank you for joining us, Johnny. Really appreciate your input on that. So yeah, you have got availability for viewings tomorrow, did you say?
Yeah, we are filling up quickly, but we still do have availability. So just give us a call or send me an email, and yeah, we can get you booked in.
Fab. Thank you so much, Johnny. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. Oh, okay. Got more questions. How do you manage these whilst the tenant is in situ? So Johnny, that's for you. How do you manage viewings whilst the tenant is in situ?
We would always let the tenant know. So on this particular one, the tenant knows that the landlord wants to sell, and we just speak to them to arrange viewings.
Normal, it's just a standard 24 hours notice, really, isn't it, with tenants, unless they say you've got the free reign.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we give them at least 24 hours notice, and they tell us what's good times and what are bad times.
Yeah, and I think something important to reiterate is when we've done this in the past, tenant's happy to stay, if the landlord's happy with the income on that rental property, then of course they want to know that there won't be a void period whilst they've just bought this property. They've got a very reliable tenant. How long has the tenant been in that property for?
About 9 years.
And that says it all, really. So you don't want to lose a good tenant, and a tenant who's still got, who's in a property that is going to earn you a very good yield as a landlord as well. And something that's good to know about Carlton Road, generally speaking, it is a very good road to be on. Properties do sell very well. So I hope that answered your question firstly. Thank you, Johnny. We've got more coming through here. Must be difficult if tenants don't present the property very well. Would you say that's the case? I mean, I'll let you answer.
I mean, obviously, it's not always in the tenant's best interest, unlike if you were to sell a house with the owner living there. I mean, this particular house, even though they've been there 9 years, is kept in really, really good condition. And they, even out of their own, off their own back, they've redecorated it. It looks really nice in there. They've kept it really smart and fresh, and it does show really, really well.
Good. To sort of elaborate on that question as well, further to Johnny's answer, is I think that's when your agent needs to step in a little bit. It's two-sided, really. A landlord who has vision, the tenant isn't perhaps helping with the presentation of the property and how they choose to live in the property. But an agent will obviously say, look, traditionally this would be let to a family of whatever. Encourage viewers to have a bit of a vision and imagination as to what the potential is of that property, who it could be let to, who would appeal to, and so on and so forth. So it is a job of the agent to sort of help the viewer look past that and see the potential. Yeah. And at the same time, any investor knows that you're not, you have a bit of choice as to how your property is going to be presented as well. I mean, we can talk to you more about that as well. I think I could get carried away in that answer, but I hope that helps. It is up to the agent, and hopefully you give the vision to the viewer as well to say this isn't necessarily how you would let the property yourself. You can choose a tenant who does look after your rental property, and that is also the role of the agent to choose a tenant who will look after their client's property. Rachel, when can we view? I think Johnny's answered that. We've got availability tomorrow. If you're talking about the Willowhane Drive property, he's got availability for the Carlton Road buy-to-let deal. We have got availability for that. And Craig did say that there's a few viewings going on at Regency Gardens. So provided that the applicants are happy to double up on the viewings, we can book you in for that as well. Okay, what other questions have we got? I think that's everything. Fab. Oh no, sorry. Compared to London, I know Clapham is renting well, but how does it compare to Walton on Thames? So I think that is for you. Is it rentals compared to London? Clapham is renting well. How does this compare to Walton on Thames? Do you have a comment on that? I mean, it's a completely different market, but how would you answer that question?
We are finding, because of the train links we have to Clapham and central London, we are finding that more and more people can get more and more for their money by moving ever so slightly out. If a couple could have possibly afforded a small 2-bedroom flat in Clapham, they could get themselves either a much larger 2-bedroom flat around here, right by the station, or even a 3-bedroom house with a garden and garage and parking.
Value for money, I think, is what we offer.
Fast train from Walton can get you
as
to
well,
in not very long at all.
Yeah, so I think the answer to that question, if we've understood it correctly, is value for money, I think, is what Walton on Thames has to offer. What you'd pay for, say, a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment, not much square footage in the likes of Clapham. Like I say, it's very different markets as well, but people do come out this way from London for value for money most of the time.
Renting, but also the buyers as well.
And that too. Money. Yeah. Of course. And like Johnny says, the reason we are doing well in that area is because of the commute into the city. To be honest, the journey from Walton, Weybridge, Hersham is actually quicker than a lot of the tube journeys there. I mean, when I lived in Osterley, it was a 50-minute journey into the city when, if you look at it from an aerial point of view, it's closer. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. Thank you for that. I was going to look up for any more questions here. Oh, wait, I have to scroll down. And I've kind of lost track, but what we'll do is we'll comment below, myself, Johnny, or Craig, to those questions. We'll give you either, I don't think we'll DM you, we'll put the answers on the comments section so everyone can actually benefit from a question as well if they have the same questions. So thank you so much, Johnny, for buy-to-let deal of the week and rental property of the week. No problem at all. Have a good weekend if I don't see you before. But yeah, so I hope it helps everybody, whether you're thinking of buying a buy-to-let in the area, if you're thinking of selling, how to keep your marketing fresh. So just a very quick one. I did want to say that I wanted to remind you of a deal we have on at the moment. If you joined us in the lives preceding today's, you'll know that we have a cashback offer. So if you're thinking of selling, or if you are the buyer of that particular property, any instructions received before the 31st of January, they will get a £750 cashback on conveyancing fees. It's a nice sum. I keep banging on that it could go into the property. It doesn't have to. Obviously, it's great if you could get the kitchen redone or the bathroom redone. It could also be a summer holiday, a contribution to your summer holiday. Oh, hi, Craig.
Hi, we're back. Technology, eh?
Hi. I know. But yeah, we just wanted to remind you all about that offer. Now, it is limited until the end of January, so if you want to find out a bit more information about it, there are, of course, terms and conditions. You can either give one of the consultants a call in the office on 01932 22 21 20, or you could head over to the link as well. If you want to go and find out a bit more about how the campaign works, just head over to rochills.co.uk/new-year-cashback-back. We had to do it that way. I'm so sorry. It's a real mouthful to say, but we'll put the link in below. Also, Craig, we got number 26 in the top 30 most roads out this week. Thank you for that.
Yeah, number 26 was Breakout
Avenue. Yep.
So yeah, that was launched this week. So next week we're going to be in a road just off Rydens Road. So yeah, coming soon.
Don't want to give much away, do you?
Nah, don't want to give too much away. No, it's a popular road though. Actual fact, we've just taken a property on in said road this morning, so that one will be coming soon. That one's in the pipeline, as it were.
Fab. Now, I just want to reiterate something. We had somebody comment on one of the top saleable roads saying, are these properties in your road? And I said, no, it is just fluke. This is all on statistics. It's on data from, what are the sources we have, Craig? I don't want to get them wrong.
The data we get, it's all readily available on Rightmove, on Land Registry. It's all on there.
Yeah, so essentially it's not subjective. We have sources to say why these roads are so popular, why they're very saleable. So it is fluke that we had a property on Breakout Avenue, which as you saw performs really well. If you are looking to purchase a 3-bed semi, 3-bed detached, etc., have a look at the video, see how that road performs. We have got a property on there. What is it we have in Breakout Avenue? Is it a 3-bed semi detached?
A 3-bed semi, yes.
Yeah. I'll put the link in below so you can have some details on that as well. But yeah, have a look out for those. If you are local, you might see your road. And I think it's quite interesting to see what the statistics are and why it is such a saleable road as well. So you will see when number 25 comes out in the next, not next week, probably the week after. Super. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for your questions. Craig, thanks for giving me some of your time. And Fridays are notoriously busy before the weekend.
No problem. Anytime, Cloudy.
So yeah, look out for the top 30 most saleable roads. If you're thinking of selling and want £750 cash back, head over to the link, which I'll put down below as well. But please be sure to give this video a like if you've enjoyed the information we've given you today and some free tips and advice, or give it a share. Anybody who may be thinking of selling in your network might find this really helpful. Apart from that, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week. The next live we'll do every Friday at 12 or 12:30, depending on Craig's diary or whoever I'm working with. But it will be lunchtime every Friday, so keep an eye out for our lives going forward. Super. See you all.
Cheers, Claudia.
Bye.